Hi, this is Molly, and in this screencast, I would love to talk to you a little bit about where Edina Schools is with our digital age learning or our e-learning squared initiative. So as we think about education, we now know that there is definitely a digital component to most of the learning that the students are doing. One of the frameworks that we've been working with is something called the SAMR model. And in the SAMR model, the first level is substitution, which means that we are just using technology as a direct tool or substitute. There's really no added benefit or functional change. The next level is augmentation, where the tool still acts as a direct substitute, but there's actually some functional improvement. To modification, where it's actually the technology is allowing for some significant task redesign of things we couldn't have done before. And then to redefinition, where using technology really allows for the creation of new tasks that we couldn't have done before. So as we look at this SAMR model, a lot of the times people think of the bottom, substitution and augmentation, as just technology enhancing what we do. And then they look at the top ones, modification and redefinition, is actually transforming the ways of things that we're doing. So if you look at the SAMR model, one of the things that we've been thinking through is that the SAMR model is kind of like a pool. So we're kind of giving it a swimming pool. In the fact that when you look at the SAMR model as a ladder, it makes it seem like you have to climb up it, which isn't exactly right, because we want to use technology for the right reasons, not just to redefine everything. So there are some times where you're going to be using technology as substitution and augmentation, and that's as if you're in the shallow end. But there are some times where we should really think through how we use technology and the devices and get into the modification and redefinition of things that we haven't been doing before. We've had a lot of fun analogies around kind of who's the lifeguard, is there a life jacket? But one of the things we're saying is at this point in Edina Schools, as teachers and as students, we need to at least be in the pool. We need to be using technology for learning. But then somebody said, you know what? The SAMR model is not really like a pool, because a pool is confined and there I know where the shallow end is and I know where the deep end is. But the SAMR model, or using digital learning, is more like a river, because things are changing all the time. There could be some bumps along the way. There could be some rapids. And so that's sort of another analogy that we've been looking through. So I want to just walk you through one of the tools like Google Docs and walk you through what it would mean in the SAMR model, because with a SAMR model, it's not about the tool, but it's actually how you're using the tool. So for example, if you used to, write a essay or a paragraph or a story on paper and pencil, and now all you do is just go to the computer lab and you type it, that's using Google Docs as a substitution. But if you start using the spell check and having the kids access that Google Doc anytime, anywhere, from at school, from at home, from if they're on vacation in Arizona, then there's some added benefits. So therefore, we're using Google Docs, and it's an augmentation. It's a direct substitute for typing, but there are some added improvements, some functional improvements. Then we get into modification, so things that we couldn't have done before. And in this case, we're using the chat feature, we're using the commenting, we are engaging with students while they're on the document at the same time. So a lot of the collaboration really leads us to modification. And the fact that every Google Doc, in about 3 clicks, if you share it with anyone with a link, can become a website, that's redefinition. Paper and pencil stuff used to go between the backpack and home, maybe to the teacher, but now we can publish things as a website. So it's really not about the tool, it's about how you're using it. So this other example is vocabulary instruction. You can look up words in a dictionary, or you can look up words online. For augmentation, you could start using some words like visu words and snappy words, where the kids get connotations of words, or they get synonyms and antonyms. Moving through modification, the students can start creating their own mind maps or definitions, or using images using technology. And then when you get to redefinition, where students are defining words by creating movies using images and sounds that could describe the word. So lots of different ways that you can sort of think through it. But the SAMR model is not about the tool, it's about how we're using the tool. So those are the conversations we want to start having, is more about why we're using the technology and what we're hoping to do with it. Which level of the SAMR model is it? And then we can know that not every day, but sometimes we want to have some redefinition activities. So with digital age learning, one of the things that we're focusing on is the difference of content, the ways that students get content. So as a teacher and as a student, they should be consuming content online, whether Time for Kids online, with Brain Pop, using the Academy, Khan Academy, using YouTube. As a teacher, going to free technology resources for teachers or Edutopia for your own professional development. We need to be consuming content online and helping kids understand about content online. We at Edina are using Moodle and Google Sites as the way we get our content to our families and to our students. The second piece of digital learning is really about collaboration, and technology allows us to collaborate in many different ways. And the fact that there are collaborative tools like all of our Google Suite or Prezi, but there are also things like Kahoot, which kind of adds some collaboration or interactivity into the classroom. There are things like quad blogging, where you can join other classrooms around the world who are blogging and build in the commenting feature for everybody. So there's lots of different tools that you can sort of explore in order to learn a little bit more about how the kids can collaborate. The entire Google Suite is built around collaboration, so those are some great tools to use. Another example of an internationally collaborative activity was we just created a Google form and asked people around the world what the temperature was. And using the data that came in from the spreadsheet, we were able to plot it onto a world map, and the students had real-time data that we could talk through. There's also a website called Connected Classroom, which is bringing virtual field trips into the classroom, so you can connect on those using Google Plus as well. And then we can't miss using the digital tools or the devices to create new things. So the students have all the sort of usual suspects for the digital storytelling, Blabberize and VoiceThread, but we can also use Google Maps, and we can use GoAnimate and the entire suite of Google apps, something called Blend Space and Little Bird Tales. So there's lots of different ways that the students can be creating using the devices. So in the digital age learning, it's not only about consuming content with the devices, but it's also about collaboration and creation. So wherever you're at right now with whatever devices you have in your classroom, it's important to sort of look through the SAMR model and then also think through the content, collaborate, and create, and how you're using devices in the classroom. We've also created this thing link, which is the framework that sort of matches the SAMR framework with content, collaboration, and creation. And you'll see a link below to this, or you'll receive a link about this, in which you can hover over some of these different, so redefinition and content, you'll be able to hover over it and see what it looks like, or see an example. You'll be able to hover over modification and collaboration and see an example of what it looks like. So take some time to just sort of look through this to see and learn a little bit more about what these SAMR models mean within the content, collaboration, and creation. And just as a final reminder of some things that we're doing now in order to get ready for summer 2014 or the next school year, is that on June 12th we are having a e-learning squared summer camp, and this is going to be 3 strands: a getting going with Chromebooks and Edina apps, gearing up with Chromebooks and Edina apps, or getting geeky with Chromebooks and Edina apps. And we've actually added on June 12th also an iPads in the primary classroom. So you get paid to attend this, and you can sign up and keep certified. We also are doing summer online courses that you can take in order to get paid. The dates are June 9th through August 4th, and there's a course on Moodle, best practices in a paperless classroom, Google Apps for beginners, the flipped classroom, and then also a digital citizenship certification. So again, you can sign up for those in Keep Certified, and you get paid for doing these ones as well. And then the Edina Learning Institute, which is happening August 5th, 6th, and 7th, is workshops and breakout sessions around e-learning squared and standards and assessment and culturally responsive classroom. You get paid for attending. You can attend 1, 2, or 3 days, but the August 5th and 6th are the dates that have the breakout sessions and the workshops, and you have to attend one of those 2 days of August 5th or 6th in order to earn the date of the 7th, which is just work time and sharing. So you can sign up for the individual classes for the Edina Learning Institute also in Keep Certified, and you will also see a link in the email that I will send out that will show you the schedule for the Edina Learning Institute as well. So we hope that wherever you're at, you are able to think of the next school year, 2014-15, as an area of growth in digital age learning, and that your digital age learning specialist will be able to meet with you in your PLCs or meet with you at different team times. We'll be with you during workshop week. That we just want to have an area of growth, and so we are in the business, and education is in the business of growth, and so we are hoping as teachers too that we can sort of have some growth within digital age learning as well. So please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and we hope to see you at one of the professional development events this summer or back to school workshop week.